All right, Larry Krueger outside the Niners locker room after the 49ers get the win. Of course, we're brought to you by Pig and a Pickle and Underdog Fantasy. 49ers win at 24-21. They escape to move on to the NFC Championship game. Brock Purdy, 6 of 7 for 48 yards. He completed 86% of his passes on that final drive. For the day, he had been 17 of 32. He had completed 53% until the final drive. Finished the day 23 of 39 for 252 and a touchdown, but he didn't turn it over. He got lucky in the first half. He threw a pass that easily could have been and should have been a pick six, but he converted 10 of 16 third downs, and the 49ers get the win. Why? Because they were +2 in turnovers. Dre Greenlaw had 2 interceptions, 8 tackles. Clock management was a disaster at the end of the first quarter. But the 49ers, in Green Bay, have played a clean game. Green Bay only had 1 penalty for 5 yards. Niners had 6 penalties for 83 yards. Logan Ryan started for Jair Brown at safety. Christian McCaffrey averaged 5.8 a carry today. Aaron Jones went 18 carries for 108 yards. Kittle had 4 catches for 81 yards and a touchdown. Deebo Samuel hurt his shoulder in the first quarter and went out. But then tried to come back in. We don't know the severity yet of Deebo's shoulder. Kyle Shanahan now 1-30 when trailing by 5 points going to the fourth quarter. But really, it was a story of turnovers. Green Bay played well. They played a cleaner game than the Niners. They played better than the Niners in some phases of the game, but they turned it over twice. Greenlaw with both interceptions. They were huge. Purdy did not play good. His feet looked like they were stuck in cement. He wasn't seeing the field. He was a little bit off. I don't know if it was rusty or if it was the wet weather, but he did not look good. Brock Purdy struggled in this game. This was not one of Brock's better games, but he came alive in that fourth quarter. 6 of 7, as I said, for 48 yards, 86% completion percentage on the final drive, and the Niners get the 24-21 win. What can you say about this one? They'll get the winner of Detroit and Tampa next Sunday here at Levi's in Santa Clara. The status of Deebo Samuel, we have no idea as of yet. Brandon Ayuk had a big catch on that final drive. Chris Conley had a big catch on that final drive. The 49ers pulled it out. I mean, this thing was ugly. This was not a vintage 49er performance by any stretch. But credit Purdy, man, because it was a bad game for Purdy, and then suddenly he came alive on that final drive. 6 for 7 for 48 yards, 86% on the final drive, and the 49ers get the win by 3, 24-21. What more can you say? It wasn't perfect. It wasn't pretty. It was wet. It was sloppy. It was not a good performance by the Niners, but they're moving on to the NFC Championship game. And as I said, they'll get the Detroit-Tampa winner next week here at Levi's. Huge win for the 49ers. The rain came. It was a sloppy field. Green Bay played sharp. They had a big return that obviously set them up in phenomenal field goal position. Jordan Love was outstanding. The young Packers are impressive. Jaden Reed, Romeo Doubs, Tucker Kraft, Luke Musgrave. I mean, all these guys really played well. Zach Tom, the Packers offensive lineman, one of their tackles went out with an injury in the second half. That might have impacted things a little bit. Niners defense circled the wagons. Fred Warner, I thought, played a huge game. Greenlaw came away with 2 monster picks, and the Niners are moving on to the NFC Championship game. Join us on the post-game show in a bit, but that does it from here at Levi's. 49ers get the win over Green Bay 24-21.